All right, good day, hi, and welcome. Okay, so a little kind of songwriting tip I'm gonna give out today. It's just something that I do. Now I've got a home recording studio, and it's never going to give me the stellar sounds I want, because there's a whole thing of, okay, you got to learn how to play the guitar to make it sound good, right? You got to learn how to sing to sound good. You have to learn how to play the bass to sound good. You have to learn how to play the drums to sound good, and all that takes a lot of time. And then once you have that, it's not always a money issue. You can buy the best recording equipment known to man, but if you don't know how to utilize it, you don't have the techniques. That takes time too. That takes time away from your instruments. This is why I made a video a few months back, or maybe last year, whenever it was. Like, don't bother trying to start your own home recording studio. It's a waste of time and a waste of money. And I didn't say it like as a, don't do it. What I'm saying is, here's something to consider. Uh, you can buy all kinds of stuff, right? And the first thing you realize, okay, when you buy, like, say, a drum kit, okay, if you buy a cheap drum kit, you realize right away that, how it works and what sounds good, what doesn't sound good. And you can get away with this, but you can't get away with that kind of thing. You buy a cheap guitar, same thing, you can get away with this, you can't get away with that. You buy a cheap bass, you can get away with this, but you can't get away with that. However, with the instruments, you pretty much just have to throw money at the problem. Buy a better quality bass, buy a better quality guitar, buy better quality drums and drum heads. After you go through the drum head phase of trying out the drum heads, and get the best drum heads money can buy, doesn't matter the cost of the kit. What you'll find is your drum's going to get to a point where it's going to sound as good as it's going to sound, and that's it, right? And if that's good enough, you're laughing. If it's not good enough, upgrades are in the future, right? But then you want to record that same drum kit. So let's say you sort out the whole, okay, I got the perfect tuned heads on there. It's tuned perfectly. I can play well now. Everything sounds good. My guitar rig sounds awesome. The bass rig sounds awesome. I can sing well, sing like an alley cat, but at least an in tune alley cat. And then you're at the point where it's like, okay, now let's record it. And then it's like, okay, well, what am I going to record the drums with? I got two microphones. Oh. And then you realize, okay, the drum kit that sounds so good in the room sounds like a piece of tin cans in boxes being beat on by a bunch of alley cats, right? And you're like, the room needs sound treatment now. Okay, well, I'll go with the blanket method, cardboard, whatever you can get away with, right? Foam or whatever. Try to keep it cheap. Yeah, okay, it sort of works, but it doesn't work well enough. So now you're a couple $100 more, a couple $100 more, a couple of $100, and it just keeps going and going and going. And then you get all the stuff, you're 12 grand in, and you got, okay, the guitars are easy because you can just plug them in. The basses are easy, you can just plug them in. But the vocals and the drums are the hard one, because the vocals, you do need some sort of, sound treatment. And that sound treatment can be a couple of $100. But for the price of the sound treatment, you can probably go record your song in a studio and have a stellar sounding song, but every instrument, right? Because the know-how is there. The guys know how to mic up a kit. They have a mic for every side of the drum. They can mic up your bass, all that. They got the vocal booth, all you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of money better spent, in my opinion, is to go to a studio and just get something really professionally produced, and then make a video, right? And that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. And it doesn't mean I'm going to make a lot of money out of it. I might not make any money out of it. And like most musical things, you lose money. You don't make money. But sometimes you get, but you get a product that you're really, really, really proud of, and it's professional. And then that, sometimes, if it does make enough money, it leads to more things, right? So the time and effort that you have to spend in learning how to record properly, there's lots of, get you going quick, but to get to really master it, that takes years. Like that's anything that takes years. And it's hard to critique yourself, to be able to do that. I'll make a video on just critiquing yourself. Anyway,